Hello and welcome to another video in navigating the Windows environment with a screen reader series. Before we get too far along, just a quick reminder that though we will be using JAWS for Windows as our screen reader for this demonstration, you can use whatever screen reader you are the most comfortable with that works with Windows, because all of the processes and commands that we will be utilizing are completely Windows-based. Please keep in mind, however, that any tutor messages or screen reader feedback that you will be getting will likely differ from mine even if you are using JAWS for Windows, just because your screen reader and mine may have been set up somewhat differently. So let's go ahead and get started. As previously mentioned, today we're going to take a look at doing a search in File Explorer. Let's go ahead and open File Explorer by pressing Windows key plus the letter E.
Windows E. Amy-Quidby. Items view multi-select list box. Not selected. Archive not checked.
I'm going to silence my screen reader here. As you might recall from previous videos, we navigated the File Explorer area by pressing F6, Shift F6, Tab, or arrow keys to find what we needed. However, for the search field, it's really easy because there is a Windows shortcut to jump directly there. We can press Control plus the letter E, Echo, or Control plus the letter F, Foxtrot, to jump directly to the search field. I tend to default to Control plus E. I'm going to press that right now.
Control E. Search Amy-Quidby. Edit. Type in text.
As you've heard, it invited us to enter some text, and it also told us what folder we are in. Remember, when we're searching for files or folders, we can only search within the open file or folder that has focus, not inside other files or folders that might be saved on our computer. That's important to know. So if you aren't getting the results you want, it might be because you're searching in the wrong location. I'm going to type the word schnauzer and see what results I get.
Search. One item found. Search completed.
It told me that I found one item and the search is completed. It didn't tell me anything about my results other than that. In order to find out more about my results, I would have to press Enter to navigate to the items list. I'm going to do that now.
Schnauzer. Enter. Schnauzer-search results in Amy-Quidby. Items view list box. Schnauzer not checked. 7/27/2026.
I'm going to silence my screen reader here. It reminded me what my search term was and what folder I was searching in. Then it began to announce information about the item that was in focus. In this case, it was called Schnauzer. It had been modified in July, and it would have, if I let it continue speaking, told you the file location. It would have read out the address that the file was saved in. That's very helpful information to have. If I would have had more than one result, I could have navigated it a lot of different ways. I could navigate this list as usual, pressing arrow keys, up and down arrows, or using first letter navigation. But I only have one result, so there's really no point in that. If I was interested in opening this file or folder, I would press Enter to do so. However, I'm not. If I was finished searching, I would simply press Alt left arrow and I would be allowed to go back a folder level. That means that the search would have never happened and the results would be exited. I can also navigate back to the search field and erase the search terms or do a new search term. I'm going to do that by pressing Control plus E to go back to the search field.
Control E. Search edit. Schnauzer. Type in text.
My cursor is located to the right of the letter R in Schnauzer. I could press backspace until that word is gone, or I could press Control plus A to select all of the text and either type over it or press backspace to erase it. I'm going to press Control A now and then backspace to erase it.
Selected. S. Search Amy-Quidby. Edit. Type in text.
Let's go ahead and do a different search term. I'm going to type the word rose.
14 items found. Search completed.
As you can hear, it found 14 items. We're going to look at the difference between sorting and filtering. Let's look at sorting first. I'm going to go ahead and press enter to go to my search results.
Rows, enter, rows dash search results anemi dash ukvidpi.
And I'm going to press Control to silence my screen reader. I'm going to press Alt to go to my menu bar, and the sort button should be in focus. If it is not, I will need to press right arrow until it is. But I'm going to press Alt.
Sort button collapsed 8 of 12. To activate, press space bar.
The sort button is in focus. As you heard, it is item 8 of 12. That means the previous 7 items are grayed out and are not applicable right now. Sorting is exactly what it sounds like. It's taking results and arranging them in a way that is easy for the user to digest or to organize or to sort through. I'm going to press enter, and we're going to look at the ways that we can sort these items.
Enter name 1 of 7. To move through items, press up or down arrow.
We could sort by name. I'm going to press down arrow.
Date modified 2 of 7. Type 3 of 7. More submenu 4 of 7.
This is the More submenu, and to expand it, I'm going to press the right arrow.
Size 1 of 6. Folder 2 of 6. Relevance checked 3 of 6.
It sounds like items in this search are being sorted by relevance. That's kind of helpful. That means the most relevant file is going to be at the top. I could also sort by other things in this list.
Date created 4 of 6. Authors 5 of 6. Tags 6 of 6.
So that's all 6 items here. I'm going to press left arrow to collapse this menu.
More submenu 4 of 7.
I can also sort by ascending or descending.
Ascending 5 of 7. Descending checked 6 of 7.
It looks like I'm sorting by descending right now. There's one final item in this list.
Group by submenu 7 of 7.
This is the group by item. And if I expand this menu,
Name 1 of 10.
I can group by name.
Date modified 2 of 10. Type 3 of 10. Size 4 of 10. Folder 5 of 10. Relevance 6 of 10. Date created 7 of 10. Authors 8 of 10. Tags 9 of 10. Title 10 of 10.
And that's all 10. I'm going to press escape.
Escape group by submenu 7 of 7.
And I'm going to press escape again.
Escape leaving menus.
I'm now focused again on the menu bar. I'm going to exit the menu bar, and I'm going to explain why in a moment.
Escape items view multi-select list box. Not selected rows not checked.
Now I'm on my items list again. Through some trial and error, I have found when going to filter items in a search, it's more difficult to do so if you have attempted to sort them first without exiting the menu bar and coming back in. I'm not sure whether this is a Windows bug or whether it is deliberate. However, I have found that if you want to sort and then filter, you need to exit the menu bar and come back in. I'm going to enter the menu bar again by pressing Alt.
Sort button collapsed 8 of 12. To activate, press space bar.
Now I'm going to press my right arrow until I hear search options.
View button collapsed 9 of 12. Search options button collapsed 10 of 12. To activate, press space bar.
And I'm going to press enter.
Enter all subfolders checked 1 of 9. To move through items, press up or down arrow.
Right now, all files and folders that are subfolders of the file and folder that I have open are being searched. If I didn't want that, I would go to the next item and select that and search only within the current folder. You would receive fewer results that way, but again, it's possible that the results you would get would be more relevant. I'm going to press the down arrow.
Current folder 2 of 9.
And we're going to come down one more.
Date modified submenu 3 of 9.
I can expand this menu,
Today 1 of 8.
and I'm now focused on today. If I wanted to only find files that have been modified today, I could press Enter here. I could also choose files that have been modified yesterday, this week, last week, this month, last month, this year, or last year. Those are all of the list items available here. I'm going to close this menu by pressing a left arrow.
Date modified submenu 3 of 9.
I'm going to come down,
Kind submenu 4 of 9.
Kind, and I'm going to expand that by pressing a right arrow.
Calendar 1 of 23.
I can choose calendar items,
Communication 2 of contact 3 of 20. Document 4 of 23.
all sorts of different types, from documents to folders to music or pictures, things like that, so that files of only that type show up. I'm going to collapse this submenu.
Kind submenu 4 of 9.
I'm going to press a down arrow.
Size submenu 5 of 9.
This is another item I could filter by size. I'm not going to expand this, but I'm going to press down arrow.
System files checked 6 of 9.
So it's showing system files, and that's the filter that is being applied right now. I'm going to press my down arrow.
Zipped left parent compressed right parent folders 7 of 9.
I can only perhaps have zipped folders shown.
File contents 8 of 9.
File contents,
Change indexed locations 9 of 9.
or change which folders are indexed for faster searching. I don't really do much of that, but I think it's important to show you that these things are possible. I'm going to press Escape to exit these menus.
Escape leaving menus. Items view multi-select list box. Not selected rows not checked. 7/29/2026.
This is just a basic idea of how to filter and sort items in File Explorer. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.